Good evening and welcome. My name again is William Rodriguez, and I serve as the Assistant Vice President and Dean of Students here at Loyola University Chicago, and I will be the moderator for tonight's webinar. I've been at Loyola for a little more than 3 years, but I became a Rambler much earlier in 2009 when I enrolled in the doctorate program in higher education. I completed the program shortly after, so that also makes me a very proud alum. And like many of you here today, I'm also a parent of a junior here at Loyola. So parents, believe me when I say that I understand the joys and, shall we say, challenges of parenting a young adult in this current climate. Before we begin tonight's program, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the events that unfolded in our nation's capital last week. I too watched in horror and disbelief, but as our university president, Dr. Rooney, so eloquently stated in a recent message, and I quote, "We must remain committed to inclusivity and justice. As Ramblers, we are called to listen to others, use our critical thinking skills and judgment to discern fact from rumor, speak out when we face injustices, and commit to civil and productive debate and disclosure. I personally have all the faith in the world that we together, and especially with the help of our students, will set a positive example for the rest of the country. All the more reason we're so excited to begin welcoming students back on campus. Tonight is the last of our webinar series for Loyola community about our limited return to campus plans. Our previous webinars provided an overview of spring plans, information about health, wellness and testing, academics, and residence life. The focus of tonight's session is the student experience outside of the classroom. The information will be applicable to all students, those of you living on campus, those of you who are not living on campus but live in a nearby neighborhood, and those of you who are continuing to join us remotely around the world. As a reminder, all webinars are recorded and can be found on our Return to Campus website. The website also has FAQs, or frequently asked questions, a Return to Campus checklist, testing schedules, and much more. The site to visit, if you have something to write with, is luc.edu/return to campus, all one word. But don't worry, if you didn't capture that, there'll be slides toward the end that you'll be able to screen grab later in the program. So we are all here because of the ever-changing circumstances linked to the pandemic. This has not been an easy experience for anyone, but it has also highlighted how we're all connected. It's made clear how individual choices impact the larger community and how we all have to do our part to care for one another. While we're all thrilled to welcome more of our students back to campus this spring, we can only do so safely if everyone in our community commits to following Loyola's required health and safety practices. Everyone, and I mean students, faculty, staff, and guests, will be expected to fully comply with these practices. Students, that means that includes the continued wearing of nose and mouth coverings, not one, not the other, but both, honoring space limitations, social distancing, and having your IDs visible, and much, much more. Again, please visit the Return to Campus website for more information. As people for and with others, we must all do our part to ensure not only our own safety, but that of our entire community. This is why I must remind you this evening that Loyola will take all reports of non-compliance very, very seriously. Students, faculty, and staff who do not do their part and are found in violation of these expectations will face swift and serious action by the university. Now, I share this not because we're concerned about any of you here with us tonight, but because your health, safety, and well-being is Loyola's top priority. I ask for your help ensuring that your peers also comply. We truly are in this together. So moving forward, we have more than 1,200 participants registered for tonight's webinar. Thank you again for your interest and your participation. I am joined by a panel of experts representing different offices on campus. Please help me join in joining the welcoming the panel members tonight. First, we have Deb Schmidt-Rogers, Assistant Vice President and Director of Residence Life. We also have Betsy Burns, Director of Learning and Student Success. John Rosenfield, Associate Director of Career Development, Advising and Education. Marissa Lucchese, Director, Student Activities and Greek Affairs. We have Kevin Clark, Associate Director for the First Year Experience. Eva Long, Assistant Director, Student Diversity and Multicultural Affairs. We have Lisa Ryder, Director of Campus Ministry. And then the superstars of tonight's session are students. We have Taylor Drew, Student Ambassador for Athletics. We have Vincent Sarna, graduate student, and Elise Purnsley, undergraduate student as well. Now, each panelist will share information about campus plans as well as address many of the questions that were submitted when you registered and many that have already come in while we started the program. We encourage you to continue to submit questions in real time via the question and answer function at the bottom. Our program is scheduled to end around 7, but our Q&A experts in the background will remain online to answer as many questions as possible. And as a reminder, this event will be recorded and will be made available on the Return to Campus website later this week. Our goal is for you to leave tonight knowing what to expect on campus, how to participate and find the resources you need. And we want you to be excited about the semester ahead. With that in mind, I will turn it over to Deb Schmidt-Rogers, our Assistant Vice President and Director of Residence Life.
Thanks so much, Will. I appreciate that introduction. Like Will, I am also a proud Rambler, having earned both my undergraduate and my graduate degrees here. I also met my husband here. He played basketball, so I'm an avid Rambler fan. And in case anyone is following, Loyola is beating Indiana State right now by 10 with about 4 minutes left in the first half. Just thought I'd share. I also want to remind you that, as Will said, the December 16th webinar that was focused exclusively on residence life is available on the Return to Campus website. It's really important if you have really specific questions about move-in, the process, or move-in quarantine, that you watch that webinar so that we can really talk about the student experience on this webinar. We also urge you to go to the Residence Life site on the luc.edu webpage, and there is a spring move-in banner right at the top when you link to our page that gives you some really handy information. 2 new pieces of information that I do want to share with you that have come in through the Q&A and many, many emails that we have received at our Residence Life email is that both the bookstore and the mailroom will be open all 5 days of move-in. The bookstore will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. the 13th through the 17th, and the mailroom will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on those same dates. So if you mail packages ahead of time, or you want to go pick up your books, maybe they are there waiting for you, or you need to purchase them, you can do that on your move-in day. Your move-in quarantine begins the day that you move in after you have completed all of your important errands. Now, having said that, we hope that your errands don't take hours. We hope that you will be efficient about them and do the things that you need to do on campus or very near campus, and then begin your quarantine that day. Most RAs had the opportunity to communicate with their residents over this past weekend. I am not a TikTok user, but I saw some of the TikToks, I think that's what they're called. I saw some of the TikToks that they sent introducing themselves, and they were very creative. So you might want to ask your student or students if you are on, let your family members know about the introduction that you received from your RA. It really just was sharing a little bit of information, particularly because so many people will be virtual. The RAs have been on campus, but many of them are still in quarantine and will continue to be in quarantine when move-in begins. They too had to quarantine for 14 days, just like all students. Our initial programming will be virtual. There is a floor meeting that will happen immediately following the 5 move-in days. That will be virtual, and at that time, the RA will talk about policies and talk about some initial programs that they have planned for the students. Each RA is also responsible for coordinating individual outreach with every single student on their floor, area, or building during those first 2 weeks of the move-in quarantine. RAs will encourage students to attend the plethora, and I'm not going to go into them because I know that Marissa will do this, but there are so many Welcome Week activities that have been planned by both Student Activities and Greek Affairs, Student Diversity and Multicultural Awareness, and others. After the quarantine period has completed, students may visit one another in lounges, in kitchens, or they may invite one additional person into their living space. Everyone, as Will said, must have a face covering that covers both your nose and your mouth if you are sitting in a lounge. You must also practice social distancing. For the first 30 days of the semester, and I know this is a tough one, but there will be no signed in guests into the residence halls. After 30 days have passed, ResLife will confer with health experts and will really review COVID data as we make decisions about what the best and safest plan is for guests moving forward. Students may use lounges and kitchens, again, following proper protocols. Otherwise, we will lock them if we find out that they are being abused. All students must clean up after themselves if they do use the kitchen. That is not the responsibility of our custodial staff. It is student responsibility to clean up after themselves. All in-person programming on campus is currently limited to only 10 people at a time. So initially, all programming, both residentially and I believe, as Marissa from Saga will tell you, will be virtual. Now, you haven't even moved on to campus yet, but I want you to pay close attention to your emails because in short order, we will begin recruiting for student leader positions for next year, whether that's an RA, a desk receptionist, furniture crew, a student office assistant. We will also be providing information about housing options for 21-22. One final question that I see has come into the chat frequently. Twice weekly testing is required, but you do not have to finish that first testing on your move-in day. We encourage you to schedule it right away. Perhaps you're doing it the following day. Don't wait too long, but it doesn't have to happen on your move-in day. Thanks so much, Will. Back to you.
Thank you, Deb. Such great information. I think I'm signed up to volunteer and help with moving with you, so I'm really looking forward to it. And as a reminder to everyone to keep an eye on the live chat for links and reference information that will be very helpful to you. Next, I'll turn it over to Betsy Burns, Director of Learning and Student Success, to talk about how to stay on track and maximize available resources. Betsy?
Thanks, Will. I really appreciate that introduction. Again, my name is Betsy Burns. I'm the Director of Learning and Student Success. And like my colleagues, Loyola runs deep in our family. I'm currently a PhD student in the Department of Sociology and have 2 current undergrads. So this is very personal work for me. Connection is a key component when working with our students in terms of connecting them with each other, with faculty, and with resources in terms of the student experience. Academic support services will be offered virtually this semester, including academic advising, tutoring through the Tutoring Center and Writing Center, and success coaching, since the majority of our students will be learning away from campus. The welcome desk at the Sullivan Center will be open and will have additional information and will provide guidance on how to connect with these offices, offering academic support if you are on campus and need additional guidance. So please visit the welcome desk on the main entry level of the Sullivan Center for more information. The university continues to allocate additional resources to support the classroom experience. Undergraduate and graduate course assistants will support faculty who are teaching on campus and online. We have incorporated most of the undergraduate course assistants into our tutoring core as well. That allows us to expand our tutoring center offerings for the spring. Our academic advising units have express advising available in addition to the ability for students to schedule individual appointments with their advisor through Navigate, our student-centered mobile app that provides students with an easy path to schedule an appointment or communicate with their advisor, as well as provide students with personalized information to help keep them on track for academic success. This spring, we are excited to launch the Studybuddies Module in Navigate. This module allows students the ability to connect with each other in their specific class sections in terms of forming study groups. In our testing of this module, students found Studybuddies were easy to utilize and thought it would be very helpful in terms of making those connections with each other in their classes. This module will go live at the beginning of the semester, and we will provide more information in conjunction with our faculty on how students can engage with this new program through the Kettle and other communications. If you did not meet your academic goals that you set this fall or want to build confidence as a learner in the college environment, I encourage you to register for Univ 112, Strategies for Learning. Univ 112 is a 1-credit graded course that helps students assess their academic skills and become strong, effective learners in college. Success coaching is built right into the curriculum for our Univ 112 students, so I hope some of you will take advantage of that. Students who are working with our Student Accessibility Center, please make sure you renew your academic accommodations this week for the spring semester so that we're ready to go for the first week of classes. Collaboration cannot be at its best without communication. So please make sure to check out the Kettle website and newsletter. The Kettle empowers students to take the lead and build help-seeking skills through accessible campus resource links, newsletters, and student spotlight. The first Kettle newsletter will arrive in your inbox on Monday, January 18th, and thereafter every 2 weeks. Parents, if you could have your students forward the Kettle newsletter to you so you can stay up to date on all the great offerings and programming happening on campus and virtually, or you can find the Kettle newsletter on the Kettle website. I know at the beginning of the presentation, there were a number of the slides that had a number of the resources that I talked about, and I hope that you had a chance to take a picture of that slide. But if all else fails, please remember you can always reach out to us at studentsuccess@luc.edu, and we will make sure to guide you and your student to the best resource to answer any of your questions and to provide support. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to our spring semester.
Thank you, Betsy. Building off of academic resources, let's turn to John Rosenfield, Associate Director of Career Development, Advising and Education, to talk about how students can pursue internships and employment opportunities. John?
Thank you so much, Will. Again, my name is John Rosenfield. I'm Associate Director of Career Development, Advising and Education. There's a couple of core pieces that I really want to leave everyone with tonight, but I think I want to turn first actually to some of the questions that have come in advance, because I think that they're weighing heavily on a lot of people's mind, and I also think it'll give a nice opportunity to dovetail into some of the other resources and opportunities that career services can provide for students this spring. So one of the initial questions was, will employers be visiting campus and recruiting on campus this spring? And so I can share with you that they will not be physically recruiting on campus this spring. However, we will be offering a range of both tailored career fairs for different disciplines, different majors, that will stretch from now until into March. And those will be offered virtually. We did a couple of these in the fall, and we had really good feedback from employers and students who really appreciated the opportunity to connect one-on-one instead of maybe in a busy room where everyone's kind of jockeying for space. So I actually think that that's kind of an exciting new opportunity in terms of having the virtual career fairs. There are also a range of employer and industry expert sponsored events which are available to students. And both of these opportunities, the events as well as the fairs, can be found in students' Handshake accounts under the Events tab. So if you haven't logged into Handshake before and set up your account, I very much encourage you to do that. That is our career development online platform. Great opportunities to meet with Going Global for those interested in international careers. Will be hosting on the 26th. Google is doing an event coming up shortly, the Mayo Clinic. So a lot of really exciting opportunities to connect with employers virtually as it may be currently. So some really important things to look for there in Handshake. Another question that had come in really had to do with what internship experiences would look like. And I believe the question was, how are they being redesigned for the spring or for the pandemic? So internships are really designed and administered by the hosting organizations, and the university offers guidelines, and certainly we can connect with students to help them process the experience they're having. But those really vary by the hosting organization. What we can really help students do is identify relevant opportunities and be as competitive as possible. And so keeping that in mind, I really want to reflect back on the range of ways that career services can be most helpful to students this spring. All of our services, all of the resources and opportunities that we offer normally are available this spring. However, they will be available virtually or remotely in different ways. So I think really what the bottom line for me about career services, and what often maybe isn't known by students, is that developing, identifying, choosing a career path, developing a career path, and really pursuing it in a critical, meaningful way, making good career decisions, involves a set of skills, a set of perspectives, which is oftentimes falls outside of our academic coursework. And that's really something that we hope you'll take the opportunity to connect with our office on this spring, so that we can really work with you to determine, in the context of your life, how is career development, how is the planning for the next phase going to make the most sense and work for you, even in these crazy times, in this crazy year. So we are available for one-on-one advising, all of our advising teams, career development advising, business career services, and pre-health advising. Appointments can be scheduled with us via Handshake, again, in your Handshake account. All of those teams have drop-in hours that are available virtually throughout the week. That can be found on our website at luc.edu/career. So please take the opportunity to come connect with us. We have a variety of experiences that you can engage in. We have a Univ 102 course. We have self-assessment programming that you can participate in. So especially if you are not sure about a career path, not sure how your academic major might connect to a career path, or you're thinking maybe that your ideas about a career path are changing, those are really all conversations that we'd love to get engaged with you on. And our coursework and that self-assessment program are also great opportunities to engage with thinking through those questions. So I really can't emphasize enough how excited we are to connect with you. We hope you'll take the opportunity this spring to really meet with us and work on some of these experiences, connect with some of the experiences that are available on Handshake, and I will look forward to talking more about the spring in the Q&A, and I will turn it back over.
Great, John, thank you. Many of you submitted questions about ways to get involved, meet friends, get involved in clubs and student organizations. So we're happy to have Marissa Lucchese here, our Director for Student Activities and Greek Affairs. Marissa?
Thanks, Will. This semester, Saga teamed up with campus partners across the university to offer our first ever Spring Welcome Week. We'll be hosting over 40 programs during the first 2 weeks of school to help our students get acclimated to campus, make new friends, and access valuable resources to help you be successful during the spring semester. Folks can learn about our Spring into 2021 program on our Instagram handle @LoyolaSaga. Make sure you log into Lu Community to sign up for the programs that are being offered, and also sign up to receive a Saga Starter Pack. We'll be mailing the first 250 students who sign up a customized Saga Starter Pack full of school supplies, Saga activities, and flyers to tell you all about Saga signature programs during the spring semester. Saga student leaders know that one of the biggest challenges for students during the fall was connecting with friends, both old and new. That's why the Campus Activities Network, also known as CAN, decided to host another student organization fair this semester. We've made it easy for everybody by continuing to host our org fair on Lu Community. Last semester, over 100 student organizations were represented and connected over 900 student attendees that highlighted interest in their talents. Student organizations are awesome, but so is sorority and fraternity life, and they'll be at the Student Org Fair in 2 weeks as well. I continue to be amazed by our sorority and fraternity community on campus. Last semester, our chapters continued to engage in philanthropy work, community service, and brotherhood and sisterhood programming, all in the virtual format. That would explain why we already have around 300 students registered to participate in sorority and fraternity recruitment for spring so far. For more information about joining a fraternity or sorority, check out SFL_LUC on Instagram. Going Greek is another great way to enhance your leadership skills, build your professional network, and make lifelong friends. In addition to being involved with student orgs, sorority and fraternity life, and programming with commuter student life in the Department of Programming, we know that a lot of our students are going to continue their commitment to their physical health this semester, so I want to make sure that I'm touching on the resources being offered by the team at Campus Recreation as well. Campus Recreation and the Hallis Rec Center will be available to provide student programs as well as recreational fitness spaces that include strength and cardio equipment and a full rock wall. Hallis Rec Center will be available to all currently enrolled students through a reservation system that helps control capacity and keep our space safe and clean. Many of our signature programs, such as group fitness, intramural sports, club sports, and Ramble Outdoors, will offer virtual programming until safe and able to run in person. Club sports teams are actively recruiting members as well for meetings and future involvement. All of these programs are still great ways to get involved, find community, and work on wellness. For more information, please visit the Campus Rec website at www.luc.edu/campusrec. I also want to give a shout out to our graduate and professional adult community. Graduate, professional, and adult students can stay engaged by attending the virtual engagement programs offered just for graduate, professional, and adult students, and stay connected through the graduate, professional, and adult student newsletter. Please consider joining Rambler Pack to stay connected and receive support from fellow graduate, professional, and adult students. They're offering 12 interest groups for you to choose from. And finally, I do want to encourage all students to attend our Black Lives Matter conference on March 27th. Will, the team in the Division of Student Development is looking forward to continuing to connect with students this semester. We look forward to seeing you both on campus and in the virtual environment. Back to you, Will.
Thank you, Marissa. That was a lot of really great information. And as students, you can see there are many ways to get involved. So please consider staying for a few minutes after we wrap up. There'll be a couple of slides with important information like social media accounts and websites that you can take a screenshot for you to have. That will be your best way to stay informed about everything that Marissa just shared. Moving on, for our first year new and transfer students, Kevin Clark, Associate Director for the first year experience, will share your specific programming and activities.
All right, good evening. Thank you so much, Will. It's nice to see you, and it's nice to follow Marissa and student activities. My name is Kevin Clark, and I am the Associate Director for the first year experience here at Loyola University Chicago. Usually I get to meet you all in person, but it's nice to see you on the internet tonight, and welcome you to Loyola, like to everyone else. Our job in new student programs is to help new students, first year and transfer, and their families have a successful transition to student and academic life at the institution. We know it can be tough. The first year can be difficult as you get used to the new lifestyle, potentially being away from home this spring, getting used to the classes, and most importantly, connecting with other people, making friends, and feeling connected to Loyola. And we know that that's the most important thing, and the thing many of you are really looking forward to, even if you've been at Loyola for a semester or longer. So we have a lot of formal programs this year that will be fully online, but we are hoping to help you create connections so that you can meet with folks in person informally. And I'll give you some examples of that along the way. So some of you are right now brand new students coming to Loyola for the first time this spring, and you're participating in mid-year orientation. Mid-year orientation this week will involve academic advising, resource webinars from the Bursar, panel discussion with student leaders, as well as small group discussions with orientation leaders. So if you're a brand new student, you can look forward to engaging with those things this week. For students who are in their first year still or brand new, as part of Welcome Week that Marissa mentioned, we're going to have some affinity discussions. So those are some optional small group discussions for students with shared identity to have conversations about the first year at Loyola. So we'll have one for students of color, one for students who are a part of the LGBTQ community, and one for transfer students. And so those are available for you as part of orientation and Welcome Week. And then after the first week, after this week, excuse me, our big programs will start for students, the University 101 and University 201 classes. So all first year students are going to take University 101 this semester, brand new first year students, and new transfer students, you can take University 201. And those classes can help you get connected to resources and opportunities, and they're facilitated by an instructor, and usually an academic advisor, and a peer advisor. And that peer advisor will plan online and in-person events and opportunities this semester for students, depending on where they're located. Also for students, and this is for continuing students and new students as well, and as well as upperclassmen, is we offer University 102, which is a 1-credit letter-graded seminar similar to University 101 or 201, that focuses on special topics taught by experts at Loyola. So you met John. His team offers one on career development, career discernment. We're going to have one on financial wellness. There's one on exploring research, one on getting involved in pre-health. And there's also a Cura Scholars program for sophomores. So if you're interested in any of those classes, you're looking for an extra credit, you want to get connected to other new students, check out University 102 on Locus. The other thing we're really excited about this spring that's new is the first year PAC program. So the first year PAC program is an informal opportunity to get connected to other new students. These PACs will be about 6 to 8 new students in their first year freshman or transfer. And they're just going to get together informally with a PAC leader. So that's going to be an upperclassman at Loyola who's going to help them plan events, get connected, stay connected on social media or through things like texting or GroupMe, and also plan some fun events. And so at the end of the month, we're going to have a big trivia event, or the PACs will compete against each other, but all new students are welcome to participate. So if it's your first year at Loyola, jump into the trivia event at the end of January. You can look forward to that. If you're interested in joining a PAC and you haven't yet, we can still accept more folks. And so the application for that is on our website at luc.edu/NSP for new student programs, NSP. So feel welcome to join, but please put your name in the hat today as we're going to start sending out information tomorrow for students involved in that program. Last but not least, I just want to make sure you stay connected to us. Is we're gonna send out information to new students and their family members related to events and opportunities through a newsletter. So every other week will be the first year newsletter. Every month will be the parent and family newsletter. And we also will share information regularly on our Instagram. So that's at LUC_FYE. So lots of great information there for new students and families just to stay connected, and then feel welcome to email us. And you'll get lots of information at luc.edu/NSP, which is new student programs. And if you think this is really fun and you want to help welcome new students next year, we encourage you to consider applying to be an orientation leader or a peer advisor. And that process is happening now too. And there's an information session as part of Welcome Week. So again, welcome to Loyola. We're super excited to have you here. If you need anything, please feel welcome to reach out.
We're thrilled to welcome our new students on campus. So Kevin, thank you so much for that information. I'd like to turn now to Eva Long, our Assistant Director for Leadership and Advocacy in Student Diversity and Multicultural Affairs Office, to talk about a little bit more about their programs and services.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. As the Assistant Director of SDMA, I oversee one of the many first-year mentorship programs that are facilitated in our office. The one that I oversee is the Students Together Are Reaching Success, which focuses on support for first-generation college students and those who identify as a student of color. I also oversee leadership programs for our office and the social justice initiatives. This evening, I'm here to share a little bit more about what to expect from our office when students return in the spring semester. I want to first begin by noting that SDMA will only be offering virtual programming for the spring. Although we will remain virtual, there are currently 37 opportunities for engagement. Additional information can be found on the departmental calendar located on our website's home. So if you go to luc.edu/diversity, on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll find a digital calendar where you can browse through to find all of the opportunities, including flyers, event details, and registration links. And you can also check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and sign up for our newsletter to receive regular updates. We're really excited to welcome students back into the spring semester, and we'll be kicking off with a big event, which is also a part of Saga's Welcome Week events. You can check out our Welcome Back event, which will take place on Tuesday, January 19, from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Central Time. Again, you can visit our departmental calendar on the website or social media for additional registration details. Additionally, we will continue to provide trainings and workshops throughout the semester. Some of the ones that we will continue to provide include the Share the Dream Ally trainings, safe space trainings, and social justice-based workshops through our Empowerment Pipeline program. There are more to check out on our website and social media. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email us at diversity.luc.edu. Thank you, and we look forward to welcoming you back in the spring.
Eva, thank you so much. Really appreciate you sharing this important information for student opportunities as well. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Lisa Ryder, our Director for Campus Ministry, to share the many ways that students can come together in faith this semester. Lisa?
Well, most campus ministry programs will be virtual, and they are easily found on our website, luc.edu/campus ministry, and then go and select the Spring 2021 tab. I am pleased to announce that we will be one of the departments that is approved to offer some in-person programs. In Madonna della Strada Chapel, we are offering in-person masses, Taizé prayer, and Eucharistic adoration. Students must pre-register through a link on our website. Attendance is currently limited to 10, but we hope to increase that to 25 when the positivity rate comes down in the city of Chicago. Christian life communities are a wonderful way to meet other students, discuss life, love, and faith. This fall, students who joined CLCs felt strongly connected to other group members, and we will have new groups forming this spring semester. Loyola 360 is a retreat for first-year students offered February 19th through the 21st. Over the weekend, students log into 7 different Zoom sessions to hear upper-class students talk about their Loyola experience, both successes and struggles. There are small group sessions where students really get to know each other. A student who attended the virtual Loyola 360 this fall stated, "Loyola 360 is really open and accepting. I was afraid that I wouldn't click with anyone, but I was completely wrong. Everyone was super open and friendly. I definitely connected with people who will hopefully be longtime friends." So one thing to know is the Loyola 360 is a great way to help students develop friendships. The Unwritten Retreat is March 26th through the 28th and is for sophomores and juniors. Students are invited to imagine their life as a book, with only the first chapter having been written. Through talks and reflections in small groups, students are invited to outline the chapters that will become their life. Similar to Loyola 360, students will log into Zoom sessions at different times over the course of the weekend. To learn more about either retreat, go to the Spring 21 tab on Campus Ministries website. Agape Latte is an interfaith program hosted by students on Instagram Live that explores hope, love, and finding meaning in one's life. Student musicians and a faculty staff speaker are featured. Under our Spring 2021 tab, there is a tab that connects you to all of religious organizations on campus, and that tab is entitled Get Involved. Agape Ecclesia, our Protestant group, Muslim Student Association, Hillel, and the Hindu Student Association, among others, have been active with virtual programs during the fall semester and will continue with virtual ones in the spring. I will add that the Damon prayer rooms on the second floor are available for students of the Jewish, Hindu, and Muslim faith. Those rooms are locked, but in order to access them, they only need to email the campus minister or chaplain for their respective faith group. And then finally, all campus ministers host a weekly virtual chat so that students might connect one-on-one with a campus minister and share whatever is on their heart and mind. Virtual chat hours are listed on the Spring 2021 tab. Back to you, Will.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, we're finally going to hear from students, the real stars of our program today. First up is Taylor Drew, a senior in pre-med history. If you're a Rambler basketball fan, you may already know Taylor. In addition to serving as the director of recruitment for Loyola's chapter of Dance Marathon, Taylor has been an athletics MC for the past 3 years. How cool. Taylor, take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor. I am the athletics MC for Loyola. If you've ever been to Gentile and you've seen a girl who was throwing t-shirts into the crowd and playing and dancing with songs and with the fans and keeping the energy high, that was me. Hello. And that's what a typical game day was like in Gentile. If you've ever been, the energy is just crazy high. The student section is so creative with their costumes and signs and their chants. It's an energy unlike any other. So for all the underclassmen in this audience, we will go back to a normal Gentile experience and you'll be able to have amazing game days just like I've had over my past 4 years. I was a freshman when we went to the Final Four. It was an absolutely indescribable experience, and I hope that you get to experience these things in your time at Loyola. As we know, we are not having a traditional athletics season this year. Gentile is not going to be open for in-person games, but we still have athletics events going on. Currently, we are in our basketball season for our men and women's team. Our men's team is 7-2, playing right now against Indiana State. When I checked like 30 seconds ago, they were up by 11 with about 13 minutes left. So they are doing really great job. And our women's basketball team right now is 3 for 3. They have really, really grown as a team and come into their own, and I'm super excited to see everything they will achieve going forward. And throughout the spring, we'll have our volleyball teams, soccer teams, softball, track and field, and golf start up with their season. So there's a sport for everyone, and there's plenty of ways to get involved with athletics. First way I would recommend, follow us on social media at Loyola Ramblers. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'll give you game day updates. We'll be tweeting out fun infographics and ways to get involved and get engaged while you are watching at home. And we also have at the PAC LUC, which is our virtual student section, which is our great student interns who help create that student section experience online. Check them out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, each team has their own social media channel. So if you are really, really into, let's say, women's basketball, you can follow all of their social media and get specific graphics and videos for that team. For the students on this panel, if you want to get athletics updates for when we are doing promotions and giveaways and really awesome events for promotions, you can go to ramblerstudenttickets.com and put in your LUC email, and we will be sending you emails for every game day so that you can keep up to date with what is going on. And we have our welcome back night next Sunday, which is our men's basketball game against Northern Iowa. That'll be on ESPN2. There's tons of ways to watch each game, so be sure to check out our athletics page page to see how you can get involved with each and every game. We'll be doing giveaways for Raising Cane's. We'll be having some free food vouchers. We'll be doing gift cards. I love chicken tenders and Texas toast. I'm sure you do too. So be sure to get involved. And we have our basketball game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock against Indiana State again. So be sure to check in.
Thanks, Taylor. So exciting. Up next, we have Elise Purnsley, a senior psychology and pre-law student who can offer additional perspective from the undergraduate student community. Elise is also a resident assistant, co-president of the Black Cultural Center, and president and founder of the Pre-Law Minority Student Association. Take it away, Elise.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. As he just said, I have my hands in a lot of different pots. And so my experience as a student over the past few months, which has very quickly turned into almost a year, has been very different from my past 3 years. My different positions have not only kept me busy, but working on things that benefit my peers really does make me feel more connected to them and also to the university. With everything that's been going on, I think that students are missing that sense of autonomy over their lives, especially if they're living at home with family, and they might be missing the independence they had when they were on campus, or the independence they thought they might have once they were supposed to move on campus. But being involved really has allowed me to get a little control back over my experience. So my advice is for students to be a bit bolder than they typically might be and get involved with clubs or other organizations and programs on campus. A lot of different organizations and departments they've been putting in a lot of work over the past few months to create virtual spaces for us. So really do take advantage of those, and like many of the offerings that you've heard earlier tonight. And if you want to be bold, you can go after an e-board position, even if you're a first year. With one of the organizations I'm in, the Black Cultural Center, we created a specific position for first years. It's called the Freshman at Large position. And shout out to Miracle Murray. She's amazing at her role. She acts as a liaison with our executive board and the freshmen that she's connected with to let them know about our events that we offer, other leadership positions that different campus partners let us know about, even job opportunities. So it's been really great to learn firsthand about how the first years are feeling and dealing with these different circumstances. But if we've thought about that position, the chances are other organizations on campus have also made adjustments to their board to accommodate freshman participation. So when you log on to the org fair, just log onto any booth that seems interesting to you. And even if you're like, I don't know, or you're a sophomore or junior and you've been seeing this club active on campus for a few years and you've been too nervous to join or just to be a general body member, do log on and just ask, how do I get involved? Because they could have a specific position and they're just waiting for you to fill it. And speaking of Welcome Week, right after the org fair from 7 to 9 p.m., BCC will be hosting our annual Black Student Experience event, which is way more fun in person. It's much more social, but over Zoom, it's essentially an introduction to other students who are in the community and faculty and staff, as well as other Black student-led organizations such as our Divine Nine sororities and fraternities. But I did not realize how much I missed some of our members and those interactions you used to have every day until we started hosting events again in the fall. So please do come through and visit clubs and some of the other programs that were mentioned tonight. And that social interaction that we're missing is especially true for our off-campus, our non-Chicago folks. I was doing that last semester and it's definitely tough. So if you are moving on campus this semester, chances are your RA was also home as well. And they understand planning to be on campus and not being able to, and having your family dynamics and craziness of home life impacting how you are as a student. Like for me, I was caretaking. So there's definitely people that will be around that understand the varying life circumstances that COVID has thrown at us all. But right now, I'm currently quarantining. I'm in Simpson right now. But I'm quarantining to keep myself and my residents safe once we're all together on campus next week. So if you're moving on campus and you're worried about the quarantine process, like Deb had mentioned, just know your RA is doing the same thing as we speak, and they're going through it. So do reach out to your RA if you have any questions about what the quarantine process is going to be like once you've started and the questions kind of appear, or if you want to ask for tips or things that are getting your RA through their quarantine, do reach out. They should have already reached out to you probably yesterday, but now you have their information. Yeah. But like Deb said, again, we'll be meeting with all of the residents that we have individually once they start their quarantine process. So we'll be checking on you to make sure you're doing all right. And finally, do not forget to come to your RA's programs and do participate. We put in a lot of work and it's all for you guys. Back to you, Will.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elise. Always a pleasure. Finally, to wrap up our student speakers, we have Vincent Sarna, a first-year graduate student in the School of Social Work studying mental health. Vincent is a member of the Graduate Student Advisory Council and works as an intern in Quest, a one-year mentorship program designed for first-year undergraduate and transfer students to identify within the LGBTQ plus community. Vincent, time is yours. Looks like we may have some technical difficulties. We'll come back to Vincent. Vincent, is that you? I hear someone.
Yeah, it turns out you have to hit the unmute button for this thing to work.
Yes, it does. All right, the mic is all yours.
Wow. Go me. We're off to a great start already. It's not fun unless I'm awkward. That's the brand. Hi, everybody. My name's Vincent Sarda. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm from St. Charles, Illinois. And I'm here to talk to y'all about the graduate student experience from my perspective as a graduate student in the Master's in Social Work program. Last year, I graduated with my BS in psychology from Loyola. So to all the seniors that are watching this, trust me, I feel y'all. I know how you're feeling, but don't worry. Y'all can get through it and you will get through it. So keep your heads up. So I'm just here to talk to y'all about what has worked for me to stay connected with my peers and stay connected with the Loyola community. And if y'all see me going back and forth, that's because I put notes down because I didn't want to miss anything. So first of all, social media is your friend, so don't be afraid to use it. Through the Microsoft programming that we get through Loyola, there's a thing called Teams. I really suggest starting that up with your classes. You just create like a group in Teams and then get everybody's email so that they can sign into the group. And that way you can start to build relations and message with your peers back and forth in your various classes. It's come in real handy for me and my graduate student peers because in those moments when you're like, what is going on? You could put a message in the group chat and be like, hey, SOS, anyone got advice on this paper? I need some help. So seriously, use that resource of Teams. It's super helpful. And look on various social media like Facebook to see if there are various groups for your major or for your class or for your specific department. It helps you stay connected with people. It shows you what's going on. And if you have like general questions, it's super helpful because there's a lot of people that are experiencing the same things as y'all and can help you figure out what the best resource is or how to problem solve and go forward. One great thing that's really helped me stay connected at Loyola is joining various clubs. Specifically for me, I'm involved in the Graduate Student Advisory Council and the Graduate Professional Adult Council. One day I'll get it right. Apparently today is not the day. But what really got me involved in both of these was wanting to be a positive change maker in the Loyola community for other graduate students and kind of just be the change that I wanted to see. And in that process, I was able to meet a variety of awesome people and also make great changes for graduate students in our university. So if you want to give us a follow and stay up to date with us, you can follow GSAC at GSAC_Loyola on Instagram and GPAC at LUC-GPAC on Instagram. And they both seek to help graduate students feel like their concerns are addressed and that they have someone advocating for them. Yeah, that's about all for me. Before I go though, I got some advice for y'all. Do not worry. So first of all, wear a mask and stay home if you can, please. But figure out what works best for you and how you learn and how you function throughout life. I am aggressively type A to a fault. So what works for me is like setting up a routine, having everything planned out in advance, having a nice spreadsheet for all the readings, the tests, and the everything. So if you're like me, do that in advance so that you can prepare yourself for success. But overall, just having some kind of routine set up for yourself will be a huge way for you to stay on track with life, feel like you've achieved things, and make sure everything's organized for yourself. Overall, I really say like schedule things in advance, like a Zoom meeting with friends, just so that you have something to look forward to throughout the week and that you give yourself something to look forward to. And that's really all for me. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you. It's so helpful to have the perspective of our students. So thank you all for participating tonight. I hope by now you've noticed how excited we are to have you back and how excited we are to be at Loyola. I'd like to take a few moments and ask some of the panel members, just a couple before we end tonight's program, to talk about what excites them the most. What are you looking forward to the most? For me personally, I miss walking down the hallway, introducing myself to students, seeing how students are doing. And like Elise said earlier, there's nothing that's better than to actually have an opportunity to interact in person. So I'd like to begin by inviting Marissa, if you wouldn't mind sharing, what are you most looking forward for next spring semester?
Thanks, Well. I am feeling the excitement from the students tonight. I just appreciate all of you, the three of you that spoke. Thank you so much. I think you are great examples of why our staff is so excited to actually come on campus and engage with you all this semester as well. I am so excited to be back on campus. I am excited to see how much our sorority and fraternity community grows this semester. I'm excited to see the programs that our commuter student life programs are going to be hosting both on campus and in the virtual environment. But mainly, I am so excited to celebrate our seniors. We hear you, we see you, we know that you want a primary way to engage with each other and to celebrate the couple years that you put into this campus, into your college education. So just know that we are planning. We are ready to engage with you all. We're planning programs both on campus and in the virtual environment because we know not everyone is going to be able to come to campus for the spring semester. So please be on the lookout. Follow at Loyola Saga on Instagram for the most recent updates. And we'll look forward to engaging with you closer to May for you seniors. Congrats in advance.
Great. Let's hear from Kevin. What are you looking forward for this spring semester?
Hey, Will, I'm just really excited for new students and families to experience Loyola for the first time this spring, whether that be in person or online. And I'm also really excited for our continuing first-year students to hopefully build a stronger connection to the university. They get to hopefully enjoy their classes a little bit more, have a better sense of how to navigate the institution, make better friends, get involved, take on leadership positions, and our new students and families just really start to feel like Ramblers. So I'm excited to see that happen this spring and actually get to see some people in person.
Oh, thank you so much. Last but not least, I think I'm going to call on Deb. Deb, would you mind sharing what you're most excited about upcoming for this spring semester?
I would be happy to. I mostly it's just students. When I have been on campus during the fall, I walk the campus and it is quiet and there is no sense of vibrancy. College campuses are designed for students. We cannot wait to see the engagement, to see the community, to see students walking together, socially distanced and masked, of course, but we want you to be here. We work at colleges because we want to see the creativity that comes with students being here. So I am most excited to have you all here. Certainly, I am thrilled. You met Elise tonight, and you see what a wonderful RA team we have. She is just indicative of the other 35 RAs. They are eager for you to come back. Just the energy and the vibrancy. Thanks, Will.
Thank you so much. We hope that everyone has realized how energized and excited we are to kick off the semester with you. I want to thank you very much for connecting with us tonight and for your questions and for your commitment to a successful semester. We are indeed all in this together. My appreciation extends to our panelists as well, to our team behind the scenes coordinating logistics, technology, and answering questions. Thank you for sharing your time and expertise and for your leadership as we care for our students and community. Please stay connected and in touch with the latest information through our Return to Campus and COVID-19 websites. We can't wait to connect with you again. Please stay safe, healthy, and keep taking care of each other. Good night, everyone.